Hi there, and welcome back to Blue Ocean English. This is another lesson in the series called English Food is Awesome. Now I know you're thinking English food is famous all over the world for being bad, but I don't agree. I think real English food is awesome. In fact, it's my mission to show you that English food is awesome. I think the real problem is that English restaurants are bad. They're better now, but in the past, very bad. And this is the food that foreign people eat when they visit England. So the restaurants are bad, you think all our food is bad because you eat bad food. I understand. But here's the thing. If you came to my nan's house and ate the food that she cooked, you would think English food is awesome. So in this series, I'm going to show you how to make lots of fantastic English dishes. And hopefully I can show you some nice words and phrases in English too. Then you can try to make these dishes at home and you will stop thinking that English food is terrible. You'll start to understand I'm right and English food is awesome. Are you ready? Fish and chips. So we're going to do this famous English dish. I'm sure many of you have seen it or even tried it before if you've visited England. And we're also going to make a nice sauce to have with the fish called tartar sauce that we often have with it. So for the ingredients for the tartar sauce, you need 200 milliliters of mayonnaise, 3 tablespoons of capers, drained and chopped. So drain, this is a drain, and we use it, it means to take away the liquid. So take away the liquid from the capers and chop them, cut them into small pieces. 3 tablespoons of gherkins, again drained and chopped, so take away the liquid and cut them into small pieces. 1 small shallot, finely chopped. Finely means very small pieces. A squeeze of lemon, so squeeze is what you do to the lemon to get the juice to come out, so press it together. So 1 squeeze or maybe 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. 3 tablespoons of fresh parsley, again finely chopped, so chopped into very small pieces, and then salt and pepper. And then ingredients for the fish and chips. So this is for 4 people. You need 4 pieces of thick cod fillets. Fillet is a cut piece of fish, maybe 200 grams for each piece. 225 grams of self-raising flour. Self-raising means the flour lifts, it goes up. 300 milliliters of lager from the fridge, so cold lager. 6 to 8 large potatoes, depends how hungry you are, and salt and pepper. So let's look at the method. How do we make fish and chips and tartar sauce? First, we need to preheat the oven to 150 degrees centigrade and preheat the oil that we're going to use to fry the chips and the fish. Preheat that oil to 120 degrees centigrade. First, we'll look at making the tartar sauce. It's very simple. You take all of the ingredients for the tartar sauce, so the mayonnaise, the capers, the gherkins, the shallot, lemon juice, parsley, and salt and pepper, and you mix it all up in a bowl, and then keep it in the fridge until you're ready to eat it. For the chips, we peel the potatoes, so peel means take the skin away and cut into the size of the chip that you want. And then wash the chips in cold water, drain, so again take away the liquid, and then dry the chips so that there's no water on the chips. If you have water on the chips when you fry them in oil, they will spit. The oil will spit. Spit means the oil will go everywhere and make a big mess. So dry the chips and then put the chips into the fryer and let them fry for 8 to 10 minutes. So we're going to cook them until they're 80% done, and then cook the fish and then cook the chips a bit more at the end. When the chips are soft, you can put a knife in them and you can feel they're soft. Then remove the chips out of the oil and put them on the side on a plate or in a bowl, and then increase the heat of the oil to 180 degrees. So now we're going to fry the fish. So before we fry the fish, we need to make the batter. Batter is what we put on the fish before we cook it. So cover the fish with the flour, just a little bit of flour on the outside of the fish. This helps the batter to stick to the fish. And then to make the batter, we need to put the flour and a pinch of salt into a bowl and then mix in the lager. Whisk is the word we often use. So whisk in the lager. This is a whisk. So we use this to mix and get air into the mix. So we mix the lager with the salt and the flour, and this will give you a thick batter. So batter is the word we use for this mix. If the batter is a bit too thick, then you can add more lager, and you want it to be about the same thickness as double cream. And then all you do is put the fish into the mixture, so all the fish is covered with the batter, and then put the fish into the oil. Cook in the oil for about 8 to 10 minutes until the batter is golden colour. Then take the fish out of the oil and leave them to drain the oil away on a plate on the side. And then you can put the fish in the oven to keep warm. When you've cooked the fish, put the chips back into the fryer for 2 or 3 minutes until they are cooked. And then take the chips out of the oil, drain the oil away from the chips. And English people often eat fish and chips with mushy peas. So these are mushy peas, and they're like a soft soup-like pea mixture. So there's the recipe for today. I hope you give this recipe a try and enjoy English food, and you'll begin to realize English food is awesome. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I'll see you again next time. Here we are, just another typical English summer day. Just before I go, it's just me doing everything here at Blue Ocean English. So if you like what I'm doing and you want to see more, please don't forget to leave a comment. Maybe you have an idea for a video or a nice background picture that you'd like to see, or share this video with a friend. The best way for you to say thank you is to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and check out my merchandise, all the nice things you can buy, t-shirts, hats. You can also check out our great books on Amazon. There's 3 phrasal verb books, An Ocean of English phrasal verbs, each book with 200 examples, a lovely picture, and 3 clear examples of how we use each phrase. And then 3 books for idioms. They're called An Ocean of English Idioms. Also 3 books with 600 idioms, 200 in each book, all with a picture and 3 clear examples of how we use each idiom. Thank you very much for watching, and wherever you are, try to feel English today.